Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. How are you finding the day?
Marvellous. We've had our photographs taken about 3,000 times.
Ingrid, of course, the question I have to ask you is human or Zygon?
Every time. I'm Osgood.
But do you, though, as an actual voice, when, for example, the story we've just seen, and I'm not asking you to tell us what it was, but did you have a clear idea of whether it was human and Zygon, and when in that last scene, which one was which?
I did actually, and it's funny because I watched that last scene and I can tell. I think I can tell. I mean, I can tell because I know what I know what I was doing. But it's funny because I was very subtle with the differentiations, but I think you can tell. So it would be a question of watching it again and seeing if there's a difference.
But no more than 9 times, remember, that's the unhelpful.
One thing about that was it was an underwater base. So you know in any program where there's an underwater base it's going to get flooded at some point. So I was waiting for the day when it would get flooded, which it did. Because you know it's going to be a nightmare, the whole thing. They're going to pump water into the studio, and there's a great shot when we're running down the corridor under the safety door. And then it appears at the porthole, and it was almost classic John Pertwee because they had a stuntman do the dive, and then I popped up behind the porthole, which was great fun to do.
We have question number 2.
Hi. A quick question for Michelle. In Dark Water and Dead in Heaven, Missy drops a plane on Belgium. And as a person from Belgium, I didn't really like that. So, a question, if you could drop that plane on any other country.
Awkward. That's an amazing question. I actually didn't write the script, so that's a question for Stephen Moffat. Sorry, Belgium.
Canterbury. A question for Missy. Missy's been gone for quite a long time, 4 episodes, I think. When's she gonna come back? Or is she just gonna sell ice cream on beaches everywhere?
Very good.
Very good.
The answer to that is yes. I'm going to Brighton next weekend.
Question number 1.
Hello, this question to all of you. I'm Tony from Essex, by the way. Have you ever caught so badly that you couldn't even do the line at all? It had to be changed because you just couldn't do it for laughing?
Certainly. We're all professional actors. I had a lot of trouble with Nick Frost in the Christmas special, last year's Christmas special, because there was a creature in it called the Cantafari, the dream stealers or whatever they were. I can't remember. Can I remember what they were called? What they did? They landed on people's faces and dream catchers. But Nick, every time he said Cantafari, he said it a different way. And he started going, Cantafari, my friend, Cantafari, my friend, and turning it into all different kind of welcomes. So I had a lot of problems with that.
Are you giggles, you two?
Well, the first day I was on set, actually. Well, there was a line that I said, I'm in charge! and I was gone for most of that, and there was lots of nerves involved in that as well, because it was the first day, and most of the time you mustn't catch me and catch my eye, because I'll go, he's a bit of a twinkler, so you can't look at, he's dangerous to look at, and nightmare.
Well, I've never, just because I'm either always being chased by something or killed, so there's not a huge amount of room for humour in either of those situations. so no is the answer to that. Normally I am a giggler, but no, I haven't been on this, so no. It's another chance.
Some of you are quite far away, so... Yes, number 2 over there.
It must be very tough playing two people, right? Especially when the human and the Zygon were in the same room. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Now we talk about the technical.
The technical side of things, yeah.
Is it any harder than just playing one person?
So that was my twin sister.
Really?
She doesn't get a lot of work, so she was very grateful that script came up.
Really?
No. It all got you, but in all seriousness, it was quite tricky actually. It was quite tricky. I'm not gonna lie. I found that bit probably the hardest. But it looked what they managed to do in the end with all the special effects. It looks amazing.
There's a number one miles away over there.
My question is for Michelle. Your portrayal of the Master includes a lot of different intonations and voices, and you're incredibly erratic. How do you decide, sort of, in your mind, or do you decide at all, like, what to do when, if you know what I mean?
No, there's no process. Other than me I'm a very low boredom threshold, and even by the time I get to the end of a sentence, I'm normally quite bored of the sound of my own voice. So I tend to kind of mix it up as much as I can. But in all honesty, I don't really think about it. And there is something that happens when I put that corset on, and I can't have a big lunch, and then I get a bit kind of ratty, and I think it all just sort of is a perfect storm of these things. So all comes out in a bit of a mishmash, and somehow it seems to work. I think
Mixes it up and makes it very entertaining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Halfway through, so there's plenty of time for questions, so let's carry on with number two over there.
What it is when are you going to get a new companion, and when is there going to be a new TARDIS design?
Have you what?
A new TARDIS
A TARDIS design, interior.
Well, we'll get a new companion next year. That was your first question, wasn't it? Yeah. A new TARDIS design. I don't know. The BBC is Doctor Who is funded by licensed payers' money, and the TARDIS that we have at the moment was built for Matt. It was his second TARDIS. He had two TARDISes, and they only ever used it for 6 episodes. So it wouldn't be a good use of money just to get rid of it and to build a brand new one just for me. So we still have the same.
In the inside, I mean.
But that's what I mean. The inside is the same one. But we've changed it a little bit. We've brought more roundels back into it and more bits and pieces. But in a way, it's the way it was in the old days.
I've noticed there's a lot of orange now.
Yes, there's a lot of orange. The directors of photography like to play with orange lights, and yeah. But there are for TARDIS fans, there are a few variations coming up.
Number one at the back.
Hi, I'm Jackie from New York, and my question is for Peter. Outside of the recurring actors that come in, who's been your favorite guest star to work with?
Outside of the recurring.
Or present company accepted. I love them all. We're very lucky. We get very good people on Doctor Who, and they all bring their own gifts to bear on it. I wouldn't like to pick one specific favourite, because the others will all get angry at me and never come back. But I have to say it was lovely. We had a lovely time with Julian Bleach, who played Davros, because that was such an iconic sort of role, and I was very. And you know what? I'm always really, really impressed by the men and women who play the monsters. Whose names you probably don't know. Even I don't know. And they turn up every day, and you can look at the makeup and the costumes and be really impressed by that. but it's the acting that goes on underneath it and through it that makes the whole thing work. And I'm always really impressed and kind of humbled by what these people do. I happened to say to Stephen, I think it would be fun if he played the guitar, like a teenager, up in his room, really loudly, and no one could hear it, or everyone could hear it, be very disturbed by it. But I didn't think he'd really take it seriously. So I was pleasantly surprised to discover it in the script. And, you know, like wearing shades, any opportunity to play an electric guitar is irresistible to me. So there is no deal to it. It's just a kind of, it's my recorder. You know, it's just the Doctor's musical, and he likes to play around with the guitar. And I think also it's because he's a bit kind of electronic and stuff. He's probably built it himself, and he probably should have a big old Marshall amp with valves and all that he's made, or he should plug it into the Tardis console. I just think it's a fun thing. There's no deal. I don't get any extra money.
I think that's the closest we'll get to being on Newsnight this afternoon. So, number one.
Hello, my name is Manus, I'm from Prestatyn in North Wales. My question is for Peter and Michelle. A couple of years ago there was some big thing going on, and there was an episode where there's a whole bunch of doctors in it for some reason. Is there any chance you think you might be up for an episode where the Doctor has to face off against a bunch of masters? What do you think?
The three masters, eh? Would you share the screen with your predecessors?
No. And if I really had to, then it wouldn't be nice. It wouldn't be. I mean, it's a great idea, actually. I'll do anything. I'll completely turn around on that one. Yes, all right, I'll do it. All right, if you insist.
Who would that be? Who would that be? Would that be John Sims?
Jeffrey Beavers? We could have Jeffrey Beavers.
Derek Jacobi.
Derek Jacobi, yeah.
Oh God, we could all be in black leather. I can see it now. It's brilliant. We could all come in and do a wee dance or something. Sell it, tweet it, do it.
The campaign starts here. Hashtag Leathermasters.
Leather's American medicine.
And
the sonic glasses are an interesting idea, but what's your opinion on using them in conjunction with the sonic screwdriver? Sort of like he scans something and then the readout comes up on the glasses.
I think that would work. I think that would be okay.
And well done for not saying what's the deal with sunglasses.
So are you saying you want the sonic screwdriver back?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not really gone away, really. You've got to keep watching.
There was an interview where Stephen said, "I'm sure it'll come back at some point."
Well, don't lose any sleep over sonic screwdriver fans.
Have you met Doctor Who fans before?
I think it's the toy manufacturers were losing sleep over it. I think they were launching the petition.
And we have one right up close here, number one.
Hello, my name's Heather. I'm from Wirral.
Hello.
My question's for Peter. As Doctor Who, would you like pets on the TARDIS? If so, what kind of pet would it be?
No. No type of pet. No. Doctor Who's never had a pet except for K9, and he's in a cupboard somewhere, so we're not getting him out. Chameleon. Yeah. No. I think a companion is a handful enough. I don't want a pet. But then it's not up to me. There might be a pet.
So it's not a deal breaker.
It depends on the pet.
I have to pass over to my daughter now because she's threatened to punch me.
It's okay.
Hi, I'm Charlotte, and I'm Heather's daughter.
Hello, Charlotte.
Hi. I was just wondering if, while you've followed all of you, if there was any particular monster that you were worried about coming up against that you haven't yet.
What, that we're frightened of?
Yes, that you may have been frightened of in the past.
I'd like to do the Weeping Angel thing, because I think that acting would be fun acting to do. I'd be like that. Oh, no, you're not supposed to. Oh, no, hang on. They do that. No, they do that. I'd be like that. With a blink, then it'd be fine. I'd like to do them.
Well, I'm very taken with a lot of the old monsters that I'd love to see redone with modern technology, with the new techniques that are available to us. So I think I'd love to see the Axons, because they were rather elegant people with beautiful classical golden faces who transformed into sort of killer blancmanges at the drop of a hat. But I'd like to see us have a go at doing them, but without new modern techniques. I think that would be very exciting.
I wouldn't want to come across as Zygon anytime soon. It's only because the Zygon scared the living bejesus out of me when I... Can I say bejesus? Bejesus. Bejesus. When I was a kid, that's basically when I first came to watching Doctor Who. It was the Zygons were the big thing for me, and I was absolutely terrified, so I'm glad I wasn't involved in any of that Zygon business.
And who's next? Where's the number two? There we are, right at the back.
Cowan Grant from north of Aberdeen in Scotland.
Hello, Cowan Grant of Aberdeen in Scotland. Calling all the way from the north of Aberdeen in Scotland.
This is for Michelle Gomez. You know, in Death in Heaven, when you came down on the umbrella, did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed it enormously. It was so lovely, and I didn't realise that I could fly. And then it's not on my CV or anything, but then when they asked me, can you fly in with an umbrella on the day, I was like, yes. Yes, I can do that. And the wind was just coming at a certain pace, and it just caught me nice. Caught me nice. And hello, Aberdeen, Glasgow, Aberdeen, I love you. And a great question. And I did enjoy it very much.
Well, we've probably got time for just a couple more, so the next one, let's just go straight over there.
Hello, I'm Pauline from Littlehampton, and my question is for all of you. Have you ever played pranks on each other on set?
Absolutely not.
No, I don't think we don't really do that, do we? No, it's very light-hearted, but it's also quite. There's not a lot of time.
No.
You've got a lot of work to get through in the day, and we have a laugh.
We have our moments.
Yes, I remember once we had Jenna played a prank on me, which was there had been a rumour about another actress coming to be a companion.
Oh.
And we were shooting. I was shooting a scene with Jenna, and I turned around and she was wearing a mask of this other actress, who I can't name. But that was a prank, obviously. Not very funny. You don't know the actress. That was the only prank I can remember.
No, I mean the whole thing is quite sort of light-hearted, but there's it moves at quite a pace. We go like the Clappers, acting like the Clappers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number two.
Hi, my name is Steve and I'm from Chichester. I just wanted to ask Peter, in your performance of the Doctor, which, by the way, is fantastic.
Thank you.
I think, go on, clap. From time to time, I can detect a hint of a peppering of former Doctors. I'm just wondering if, in your performance, this is something that you're conscious of, the fact he's got these other lives and voices rattling around in his head.
It's not something that I look at the script and say, I'll do a bit of Tom Baker there, or I'll do a bit of John Pertwee there or something. But I think probably what happens is that because I was brought up and loved Doctor Who from when I was a child, You know, the actors that I loved and sort of idolised were not, Laurence Olivier or Alec Guinness or people like that. They were the people who played Doctor Who, or Peter Cushing or Christopher Lee, and so I think I became an actor. The kind of actor I was even before I was Doctor Who was influenced by those people, and so there were probably little mannerisms and things like that, and the intonations that came from them already there. So to be playing the Doctor allows them to come to the surface more. But no, I don't really. I sometimes think what might one of those doctors, how they might have said this line or that line, but I never really tried to imitate them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, he's been on standby, ready to help us out in case there was a silence that there wasn't one, but he's been my wingman for the whole day. So, final question appropriately goes to Jack at the front here.
Hello, I'm Jack from Croydon, and my question is for Michelle. Did you expect to play the role of the Master?
Never. I just didn't think it would ever be a possibility, and here now look what's happened. You know, it feels like playing the Masters as a woman has opened up so many doors, and not just in Doctor Who, but just it feels like anything can happen now, you know, so I never expected it in my lifetime, and it's my version of being the first President of the United States of America.
Well, and maybe just before we go, we're near the end of this latest series of Doctor Who. Peter, what have we got to look forward to? Obviously, you can't give any secrets away, but what's to come?
Heartbreak, doom, monsters, unpleasant surprises, Tardises, Time Lords, and a wonderful conclusion, I think, that closes off one aspect of the show and opens up another.
Well, I think we've all got that to look forward to. I'd also like to say, something that often doesn't get acknowledged, I'd like to say to this lady here,